Let's try this shit again.
I can also back up a little bit if you prefer.
Well, I got to figure out, like, because I need to not have the mic, like, crunching up against my beard. So I need to figure out the volume for me with leaving some distance.
Well, I also mentioned to you, why don't you put it up on the table and have it fucking craning down at you instead of up off the floor? That way it's like this. And you're talking to it instead of it being down where your beard fucking runs into it when you're trying to suck it like a dick.
Maybe I like that. Maybe I don't like the thought of a dick flopping down from above me and going in and around my mouth.
It just gives you a Roman helmet. Fucking balls on your nose.
Hold on. I gotta stop. I gotta leave that part in. That's fucking amazing. Man, listen, you can't blame him. He's the reason it's fucking halfway decent, right? Right.
Listen, I can blame anybody I want for anything I want without any kind of actual justification.
You're right. You ready to get this shit show on the road?
We'll try.
Welcome to another episode of the Nothing in Moderation podcast, coming to you live from the multi-million-dollar Nothing in Moderation studios.
Is that a tiny xylophone?
That is a tiny xylophone, yes, sir.
We can go the whole year without saying xylophone, but we have to use one every week.
Yep, pretty much. No, I like to get a new toy every week, so I got something new to play with. So I got one of them soundboard dealios.
That's what I thought that was.
Oh yeah, and I just loaded I loaded the theme music into it, and then a couple other funny things I hope to be able to use at some point today.
I look forward to being surprised by whatever they are.
Hopefully. Yeah, what's going on, buddy? How's
Nothing,
everything?
man, just another day in paradise. That's the typical white guy thing to say, right?
Yeah.
Living the dream.
I said the most white person shit ever today when I
get off my lawn.
No, I come home and say that pretty much every day. But I was sitting at my desk and I got a notification on my phone. It said it was from the Starbucks app, and it said you have until X time to leave a tip. Because when you use your app to pay, you can tip if you would like via the app, and it leaves it open for like 2 hours after you are at Starbucks. I hadn't been to Starbucks. I haven't been to Starbucks in a couple days. I think this weekend was the last time I went. So I opened the app up, and there's a fucking $6 charge from my Starbucks app, like because I have money loaded onto from like gift cards from Christmas and shit like that. For like at Starbucks in California.
What'd you get in California?
Nothing. It doesn't even tell you what it was. It was just $5.95. So I'm sure it was like an iced tea in California.
I think the app should itemize your items. You want to know if you got an avocado toast.
It may have.
Something.
I need to look at it and see. I was so befuddled. Befuddled. Oh damn it! Goddamn stupid iPhone needs my face. Hang on, let me see history.
You're gonna get distracted here again.
Yep.
6 minutes.
It just says in-store purchase. It doesn't say what it was.
Well, at that kind of price, it's probably a small of anything.
Probably. But so I was like chatting because I'm at work and I can't like step away. So I used the chat function on Starbucks website, and I just turned around to everybody and I was like, I'm chatting with somebody at Starbucks because there was a fraudulent charge on my Starbucks account. And that's the most white person shit you could ever say.
That's definitely a white people. Yeah. Well, a bougie people thing.
That's white people. No, that's white people problems.
Is it white people
That's
things?
white people problems. That's stupid shit white people do. They get fraudulent charges on their Starbucks account. How does that even happen?
I don't even shop there.
I
don't know.
It's not even like it's my debit card. Like it was like the gift card, and all the gift cards have like a random ass number.
Well, it's also a secure app in theory. So
it uses my face and a passcode. Like,
so you mean to tell me that somebody randomly guessed your passcode, but also looks like you?
Well, I turned that on after this.
Did you drunk buy?
Coffee
in California?
Did I fly to California?
No, you bought it for somebody and had them pick it up remotely.
I don't think that's how that works.
Can you do that?
Yeah. I could order on the app and you could run in and pick up anything you wanted. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be. That's my favorite part about Starbucks. Like people come in and pick up drinks that they ordered on the app, and I'm like, I wonder if that motherfucker actually ordered that, or if they just walked, like, just a homeless person could walk in and get whatever drinks on the little fucking to-go container.
That looks good. I wonder what that is. Hey, that's mine.
Well, and like they do, like if you get food, like they put it up there with it. I'm like, a homeless guy could walk in here and fucking just have lunch from Starbucks for free.
Yeah, but then the staff would have to play homeless or hipster.
Well, the staff is that game. Like I play that game with the staff at the local one. There's no telling sometimes.
I told you we played that game walking around Seattle and Vancouver, right?
That doesn't seem like anybody wins.
Well, so the Airbnb we stayed in Victoria, which is just across the water, is it's an Airbnb. I said that part. So they make you nice breakfast, and there's muffins, and they make them fresh every day.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I've stayed in an Airbnb before, and I didn't get that. The only thing I got was bed bugs.
Yeah, well, this is a little bit higher scale than that. But the bed bugs were top hats.
Oh, okay.
And so they made fresh breakfast for everybody every morning based on dietary restrictions or whatever that you made them aware of. And they always had fresh made muffins. And I came down, we're nighttime people.
Fresh made muffins is what they called me in high school.
Cupcake. A cupcake is a muffin with hair. But so anyway, there's fresh made muffins every day, and at the end of the day they throw them out, much like most grocery stores do with fresh baked bread and everything like that. So I would go down when the overnight person was working and say, hey, can I have those? Instead of throwing them away, I'd take them with me. Well, when we would go out walking around in the city the next day, I had a little backpack that I'd put bottles of water in and stuff like that. So I'd end up with cans of juice and a bunch of muffins and some leftover fruit, and I would just hand them out to random people on the sidewalk. And Ashley was like, all right, well, you hand them to homeless people, not hipsters. So we played the homeless or hipster game, and I did not win every time. No. But someone always got free food.
There you go. I'd be okay paying homeless or hipster if somebody were playing it and I was the victim and I got free food. Like I'd be like, all right, well, you know what, I may be hipster, but at least I got free food.
Well, I told her I'll just be the midsummer American Santa Claus of Victoria, walking around handing out free snacks to the needy.
That's good shit. All right, everybody. Well, welcome to Nothing in Moderation. We are hanging out behind the Sears dumpster in the multi-million-dollar Nothing in Moderation studios. I'm Mike, here with my bestest friend Travis.
That's me.
We don't have a whole lot going on. We're just shooting the shit. Make sure you guys are checking us out on all the social medias. I don't know why I started to transition away from that and then right back. I don't know what the fuck I got going on. I'm so out of it.
That's all right.
I have a list in front of me and I still fuck it up.
Keep trying. You're on item 1, intro and social medias.
Make sure you guys check us out at Nothing in Mod Pod on all of the social medias. We also have one of them fancy link trees now. So if you grab that from our social media, you can find all of our other stuff and things that's out there.
You get some new updates and stuff that you're working on, don't you? As far as like putting unique artwork per episode.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing changing the artwork a little bit for every episode. It's something I knew you could always do, but I didn't know how to like effectively use it. So I've done a little bit of research and
trying to keep it fresh. We don't want people getting stale after 10 episodes.
Well, there's you only have like 2 seconds to grab someone's attention. So when you put up a unique picture every time, and that's what I'll start using with the audio clips and stuff that we put out before the show and stuff like that. So maybe we'll grab a little bit of extra attention, build some hype, and maybe need a hype man at some point. Maybe somebody to come out and introduce us.
Woo! Yeah, get a Louis Flair.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ric Flair?
No, I don't want one of those. I don't want.
Even if I can get him to dye his hair blonde and do the woo thing.
I definitely don't want that. There's nothing scarier to me than a possibly blonde Louis.
How about some cocaine? That'll help get him the hyphy.
All right. That's not how that works.
Allegedly.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. While we're on this subject, I like I said, I like to get some new toys, and I ended up needing some cables and some connecting plugs today, and realized for the first time in my life that I miss Radio Shack. The ability to just walk in and get the shit I needed would have been awesome, instead of having to watch the near homeless record store owner dig through a dusty bin behind his register to pull out one of the 4 things I needed and then charge me near full price or over Amazon new price for said item.
But the Amazon concept is exactly why we run out of the brick and mortar stores.
Okay. Well, and I'd rather go to the brick and mortar store. I don't mind paying the $3, but have what I need, bro. Shit.
Well, I mean, You probably should have called the head.
I did, and he's like,
did you?
I think I got what you need.
Yeah,
And
just come on down
and then
here.
everything he had was not what I needed. It was the exact opposite of what I needed.
They'll buy something because of the implications.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm here, so I'm not leaving without something.
You know, you'd think that record stores would be making a fortune right now because
The
of
hipsters are.
Well, yeah, the resurgence in vinyl.
Yeah.
You can call it what you want.
Well, I mean, it's I thought about because I like music. I'm like
I like music.
I like music, but like I just couldn't go to the record. Like it seems like way too much work. Way too much work.
Well, I mean, we're definitely spoiled. We stole all the music via the Napster, and then
That's true.
Now
But
we
it still
won't.
seems like more work than burning a CD. Like I don't know.
it's it comes back to that conversation we had about tangible objects and buying shit based on artwork. And
That's probably most of my problem is that I don't want to store the records or have to put them anywhere or any of that shit.
Were you a concert goer when you were younger?
Not really. I went to the Def Leppard concert when I was like 12 or 13 because my aunt took me.
The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm.
I think that was post one arm guy.
Oh.
So I've been to that concert. We went to Stone Temple Pilots.
Now I understand why you're not going to more concerts.
I went to a lot of country concerts. Like I've seen Garth once or twice. I've seen like Brooks and Dunn,
Okay.
Leanne Rimes,
The record store used to be the place you go to buy concert tickets.
Infinite Mushroom in Orlando.
Is that the one in
That
Orlando?
used to be in Orlando. I don't think it's even open anymore.
Oh.
But that was where I bought all my concert tickets. Was Infinite Mushroom.
I remember Louie and I bought some small podunk festival stuff at like a little record store because now with Ticketmaster and all that other stuff, you have to buy it through them, and the service fees are twice what everything is. And,
Jesus.
But there used to be a record store right up here in town on the north end. Not that anybody has any idea where that is, but I remember going there in my teen years, and it's like, oh,
It's still there. It's the one I was in today.
Oh, okay.
Guaranteed.
I was thinking you went to the one in downtown, like the music store that's right there.
No, well, there is both now.
Okay.
There's a music store and a record store in downtown.
Huh.
So
I mean,
how
that's-
far north?
Upward by like where Friendly. Well, you weren't here.
Yeah,
when
no, I
Friendly's was
remember,
there.
but it's Sunny's now. So
Okay, so yeah, up there,
Okay.
International Speedway Boulevard.
Yes, and there's nothing up there.
Oh,
So
lame.
yeah, well, I mean Sunny's is there. If you're into mediocre barbecue.
We talked about this too, as
Yeah.
far as what you
Oh,
have
yeah,
for barbecue
goddamn it.
options in town.
Yeah, well, and
you still
fucking-
just need to drive to Pearson and go to M&E,
God, I'm not doing it.
see an enemy.
I don't want to drive to Pearson. That's the problem.
I know we end up on food too often.
Yeah, well, that's
And
what
we're-
happens. It's what we like. So fuck it.
We're about to again.
Yeah.
So Ashley and I have decided this upcoming weekend is our cheat weekend because now we've done
Define cheat weekend.
food cheat,
Oh, okay.
not booze cheat. We've given up on that.
Oh no, I wasn't even thinking booze cheat. I was just thinking
Polygamy.
Yeah. I
No,
was just thinking like you were swapping with somebody, and I was trying to figure. I was going to guess who it was.
nobody's gonna want either of us.
Damn. I was just figuring you. I wasn't going to do that to Ashley.
Right.
Shit. You're an asshole.
so
Luckily,
we're
she doesn't like you and isn't going to listen.
Right. That's a very accurate statement. But we were trying to figure out where we wanted to go this weekend as our cheat meal stuff, since
Melting
six
pot.
weeks on. No, that's just not for me. I know that's the most expensive meal you've ever bought. I'd rather be cheaper and better.
Yeah.
So it kind of came up. Do we want to go to our German place that we love so much, or do we want to get tacos, or are we just going to go downtown and go to Insomnia Cookie?
The fuck is Insomnia Cookie?
Oh my! So Insomnia Cookie it's a cookie shop.
I assumed.
And they're open late in case you can't sleep. But the ones that I'm aware of are downtown Orlando.
There's more than one?
And there's one down by UCF, which is the one. It was next to Taco Bell Cantina. I don't know if you know where they built the Taco Bell Cantina by UCF.
Yeah.
We went there just
I
for
saw it when I was down for the game last year.
when it opened. We thought it would be interesting to go see what the difference was. And
Yeah.
it's essentially a Taco Bell, but they serve beer.
Okay.
And next door, there was a place called Insomnia Cookie, and we walked in. We're like, oh, what's this? So they have cookies like in the oven when you walk in. So when you buy a cookie, it's fresh, hot,
God.
gooey out of the oven, and you can buy, 1, 3, whatever you want
Yeah.
as a number. And then they
hopefully.
they have regular, half dozen pricing, dozen pricing, stuff like that, and you can buy. I think it's like 6 or 8 different standard style, and then signature cookies that are larger. But it's like you can walk in and get a cookie and a quart of milk for like $3.
Wow.
And they have a whole, like one of the sliding refrigerators, and it's chocolate milk, regular milk, and strawberry milk, and that's all that's in it. So you can walk in and buy a cookie and milk and stuff like that. I am not one for sweets.
Yeah.
we sat in the parking lot and ate like 3 cookies between the two of us, and they were large, and we're like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. And they kept well. You know, a lot of times the cookies are great when they're warm and then they're whatever. They were still very good, but you can get like a Reese's peanut butter hunk cookie, and it's ridiculous. So we may go get the diabetes this weekend.
That's acceptable.
It's just she's like, it's so far to drive, and then there's nothing else in that direction. I'm like, we'll go to Gringos Locos.
Will you bring me a cookie?
Sure.
Yes.
I mean, you're not supposed to eat all that stuff. But
I'll figure it out. Jen and I'll split it.
It'll be a couple days old.
You know, well, funny you should say that.
You guys could come with us.
God, see, it's that hanging out with you more than once a week thing. I don't know if I can do it.
That's valid.
But this week or today at work, somebody bought a box of oatmeal cream pies and like threw them in the break room. And I haven't had an oatmeal cream pie in fucking forever.
The little Debbie ones?
Yeah, the little Debbie, just the little round Debbie ones.
They're the size of a silver dollar now.
So I'm not supposed to eat them, obviously. And in a moment of weakness, I snatched one out of the box, ripped the package open, took a bite, like obviously about half of one of the little ones, fucking chewed it, regretted it, swallowed it, and then threw the rest of the can, like wrapper and all, and just said, fuck this.
That sucks.
Yeah. So I committed food homicide.
When I worked in the performance shop, there was one of the workers there who, when she stressed out, she baked. You know,
Nice.
so when she'd go home and she liked baking, it was something she.
I would stress her out every day. What makes you mad again?
Well, I mean, she was fairly stressed, so we had treats 3 or 4 times a week, and she made some because I like peanut butter too. Some super peanut buttery, awesome little cupcakes. Mm-hmm. And it was it was really tough to stay on my diet, and I just made it a point to ignore all the good stuff in the shop and stuff. And I walked in and she had made those, and I was like, damn it, Christy, this is not cool. So I went in there, and it was such a ridiculous thing to do. It's like an anorexic person. Mm-hmm. I took a bite of it, chewed it up to taste it all, and spit it out in the trash.
Damn.
I was like, that was so good, but I didn't get any calories, so it's okay.
I did that with fried chicken skin right after my surgery. Like I just chewed it up and then I spit it back out, and like because I just needed that.
You got all the crunch.
Yeah, I needed the crunch. I needed that.
It's that episode of South Park with KFC where Cartman just eats the skin and leaves the whole bucket of chicken for everybody else.
Fucking Cartman.
Yeah.
I no, seriously, bring a cookie.
You want me to bring you a cookie?
Bring a cookie.
I'll text you when I'm there and see what it is you like out of the ones that are available.
Jen and I'll tear it up. They can't be that big.
The regular ones are the size cookies should be. The signature ones are 1.5 times that size. But it's like you can get a s'more cookie, and then you can get 2 cookies with ice cream between them. I mean, I can't bring that to you, but it's like a cookie ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, those you say that like those aren't like that. You were surprised that those existed.
No, I forgot they had ice cream.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like you can get one of those in any gas station. Not that it's as good,
right?
You can get that in any gas station.
You get the freeze dried cookie ice cream sandwich that you can't actually bite through.
Why does he seem like that's something new that just invented?
I got a food boner. Leave me alone.
All right, I mean,
I remembered they had ice cream.
It's acceptable.
You're acceptable.
You're ridiculous. I can't stand you sometimes.
You watch any good television or movies over the break?
No. I haven't found anything to get into recently. I know Jen watched The Witcher, which I've heard mixed reviews on. Some people said it's really fucking terrible. Some people said it's amazing. She ended up thinking it was pretty good, but
I watched the first episode and it's just so dry. And I mentioned that to her last week, and she's like, "Yeah, but when you get like 2 or 3 episodes in, at least there's some nice boobs."
Well, and then she finished the whole first season, and she said it progressively got better with every episode. Mm-hmm. So but it's not. That's just not my genre of TV. So I'm not.
If it's not Red Dead.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. Like I forget that the TV is there for watching. Like I bought Motor Trend on demand. Which is like they have the Motor Trend channel, which is what Speed turned into, from back in the day. And it was like $11 for a full year, and it's access to every episode of like Top Gear.
Really?
UK and the US version for the few seasons the US version was out.
Okay, with Rutledge and
Faust.
And
I think they're starting a podcast too, the 3 of them. They posted something on Instagram the other day. Faust and Rutledge did about the 3 of them maybe doing a podcast, which I think would be kind of cool. Because I liked I didn't like the the things they did necessarily, like as much as I liked the UK version of Top Gear, but I liked their chemistry and, you know, just the show in general. Like I would sit down and watch it just because I liked.
It got better over time.
It did, absolutely.
It got more cohesive. They definitely got along better.
But it's got like, what's the show Chip Foose did with where they steal everybody's car? Steal the car and do it. Like it's got all of those episodes. I don't remember what it's called. Overhauling or whatever. But it's got a bunch of car related shows. And I started watching 2 different shows. I started watching one. It's Ant Anstead, who is, if you ever seen Wheeler Dealers?
I'm vaguely familiar.
He's the new mechanic that they went to.
Is that the British one?
It's the British one, yeah. But they're in the U.S. now. But it's still the 2 British guys. But he's the mechanic, and they did one that's like an offshoot of that, where he builds one of the original Formula One cars from like an MG chassis, and he starts completely like he rolls this chassis into the shop and takes it starting from scratch. I'm a couple episodes into that. It's kind of interesting. But I watched Faster with Finnegan, which is one of the guys from Roadkill, which is the redneck. I like to call Roadkill the redneck version of Top Gear.
Okay.
Like they built one of the 12-cylinder Jags. They put a V8 and a big ass blower in it for one of their episodes. And
didn't they challenge the Roadkill guys? Challenge somebody else to a drag
Gas
race?
Monkey, the Richard Rawlings.
That's
group.
what it was.
Yeah.
And who can do the most with a demon engine?
Yeah. Those guys. One of the guys from that show, and it's the concept of it is that they take. He doesn't have like some fancy shop. He uses his home garage, and he's got to buy a vehicle to use for an unknown challenge. So, you know, he bought the first episode, he bought like a LS swapped S10, and it was like a road course race. But he and 2 friends, and there's not like a budget or anything, but they have to take this truck and make it compete around the inner course at Road Atlanta, like the inside track or the motor speedway, not Road Atlanta. But they just, you know, but they can only use like basic tools that he has in his home garage, and it's not like, you know, he's got like $1 million budget or whatever. Right. You know, so I've been kind of interested in that. I've only seen the one episode, but it was pretty good. I like the concept of it that, you know, they fix the suspension on and get it sitting right and get the engine running better. And
it kind of feels relatable.
Yeah. Cause
like, this is what I would do.
Well, cause like one of the things they wanted to do was distribute weight a little better, and they've only got 2 or 3 days to do it. So they move the radiator to the bed of the truck. Well, if you're going to move the radiator to the bed of the truck, typically you'd like bend the piping and get it running under the truck and then up in, and you do it all nice. And they just cut a big ass hole in the firewall, and they took out the passenger seat and got a big ass hole in the rear wall of the truck and just ran it through. And I talk like a 4x4 hole in the back wall of the truck to run like 2, you know, 3/4 inch or inch thick steel pipes through that ran to the radiator.
Perfect.
I'm like, okay, this is some shit I would do. I would cut a way bigger hole than I need
if it's just to win the race.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the concept. It's literally, it's like just to win the race. So they got a new one where they took a mid-'80s Thunderbird and put one of the big ass, what is the gear driven blowers that stick out through the hood.
Like a Wien 671.
Yeah, yes. I think it was like a 571 or something, I think is what they use, or I don't remember specifically, but I started watching that one. That was pretty cool so far. But like they don't do anything to the engine. They literally just slap this blower on top. Like they pull it apart and put a head gasket in it, and then slap this fucking blower on top of it.
And just try and push the parts at the bottom.
Yeah. So
was that the body style Thunderbird you liked, or did you like
that is the one I'm absolutely in love with. My mom had the mid 80s
with the recessed headlights or the flush headlights.
The recessed.
Okay, so
the 4 eyes,
the ones that came in turbo coupes at one point.
Yeah. They're all 4 eyes. Because my mom had a Cougar from that same year when I was a kid.
Same basic chassis,
just different body panels. So that's God damn it, I keep bumping this fucking mic stand. It's like. But that's probably the only TV I've watched, and I didn't really get the chance to watch too much of it this weekend. So
it sounds like you had a fair amount to.
Well, I've watched that over the last couple of weeks, like just here and there. That's just built up from when I had time, because I try to spend as much time working on this fucking podcast as I can.
I'm sure everybody can tell.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. So it's not getting any better, I promise. So you have the funny note in here, and I'm going to figure out these transitions maybe one of these days. But you were bitching about Burger King charging you for getting no bun on the way over.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've talked about food every week.
Fuck it, let's go. I'm doubling down.
In real life, we talk about it.
Double entendre.
Boom. So out and about today looking at houses and stuff, and went to go stop by my parents' house just to see how they were doing, and Burger King was on the way. And I stopped and I was like, all right, I'll get, a double Whopper with cheese and no bread. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, well, no bread's $1 extra. I was like, what the fuck do you mean you're going to charge me extra for less ingredients? And they're like, oh, well, we charge extra. And I was like, all right, then just leave it on the bread.
Yeah. I'll throw the bun away. I would have thrown the bun back in the window at him.
I'm not trying to catch a charge over here for bun assault.
That's true. That's actually, they'd probably charge you with terrorism. I've seen that happen before.
In this county, yes.
Yeah. Especially you. Like, this fucking guy.
Yep. So yeah, I told him, fuck off with the $1 extra thing. My thought process was I should just take the bun off and walk it back inside and ask him for $1 when I give it to him.
Yeah, for real.
Because the bun's clearly worth $1 somehow. And so I got the Whopper as was and got home and opened it up. And I think I even sent you a picture. There's fucking pickles on my Whopper, which anyone that's listened to previous episodes knows I do not like pickles on my sandwich. I like pickles. I just don't like that my entire sandwich tastes like pickles. So
that's good shit.
And I was far too far from the place to throw the sandwich back out the window at them.
Yeah. Is that the same Burger King that you wrote that big long story about?
No, actually. There's and I'm sure that'll come up at some point in the not too distant future. That was when the Texas Whopper existed.
That's what it was.
And it was a couple exits down the highway. And when I ordered that, I very specifically said, no pickles. And they said, oh, that sandwich doesn't come with pickles. And I said, that's awesome. Thanks. And then it's covered in pickles when I got
Treachery. I bet it doesn't come with pickles, and some asshole back there, because from working in fast food, you can always hear the speaker plays in the kitchen, so you can hear what's going on as the cook. And if I heard some shit like that and you were excited about there not being pickles on this sandwich, and I were in a shitty mood, I'd have put pickles on that bitch just to fuck with you. Yep.
Nicest guy in the drive-thru. And like, hey, let's ruin his life?
Listen, I don't know. I'm just back here to fuck with people.
I'm just nice.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I say please and thank you in the drive-thru.
That doesn't make you nice.
I let them know my order is to go.
Do you?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like you'd say something. You'd be like, yeah, can I get that to go?
No, only if they ask.
It'd be like the thing where we talked about last week with well, if I have anything else to drink, I'll wet the bed.
Would you like that to go or for here? I'm in the drive-thru.
Can I sit here and eat it, or is it going to run up that fucking timer that I saw you wave a pan out the window in front of me to shut off?
I have slept in the drive-thru before.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's not a good idea.
No, I don't think it is. Well, most of the stuff you do behind the wheel of a car isn't a good idea.
It's either a good idea or a bad idea.
Yeah, well, so far it hasn't been any terrible ideas.
I'm not dead.
Yeah, yet.
Have you crashed a car?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't know that I can talk about it. We'll have to talk about it off air.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with no for now.
Have you been involved in a crash ever? Passenger even?
No, I don't think.
Oh. Okay.
Well, yes, no, I have not. But yes, I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever ride with me when I hit something? Is that what you're thinking?
No.
Oh.
No. This is the thing I'm thinking of, I was 16, maybe 17 with my first car when it happened.
Oh.
So
you told someone you hit something or you didn't, and
it's a lot worse than that. And I see we can talk about it off air. I'm not sure.
You're not sure the statute
I'm going to need to get your
limitations.
opinion before I share the story.
Okay.
So,
well, I've wrecked a couple things. I wrecked the motorcycle back in 03, and that was really not ideal.
Yeah. What traveled further?
The bike.
Okay.
So I came off the bike.
Could have been worse then.
Came off the bike over the handlebars.
Yep.
The bike rotated around the front tire and landed on top of me.
Okay. So the bike started riding you.
Yeah. Upside down.
Yep.
And then the bike tumbled off of me and slid down the road until it came to a grinding halt in the fire department driveway.
Okay. I remember you saying that.
And I slid off the road into the dirt, and I was probably 150 yards from where the bike stopped.
Oh, wow.
Because when I hit the dirt, I tumbled.
Yeah.
And that slows you down a lot.
Probably mostly what saved your life, too.
It was an interesting scenario to have never lost consciousness. And when I came off the bike and I was headed to my left, I could see the McDonald's that I slept in the drive-thru. I could see that. And to my left, I could see the concrete drain at the curb for the plaza, and I was coming at it, and I even said to myself, I wonder how bad it's going to hurt before I'm dead, because I wasn't wearing a helmet. Stupid, always wear a helmet. And I figured I'd just wallop my melon on the concrete, and that'd be the end of that. Somehow went off the road to the right.
All right.
Which is where Wendy's is now.
Nice. It wasn't Wendy's then, I take it?
No, it's just dirt.
Oh, okay.
An empty parking, or an empty lot.
So, if you had become handicapped from that, and then you'd become a zombie, how would you walk? Like, how would that work? How does the whole handicapped zombie thing work?
You know, I think it's funny that you bring it up, because I asked you this earlier in the week. I don't know. Like, when the zombie apocalypse happens, do all disabilities go out the window, or only disabilities that pertain to walking? Or are you going to be like the zombies that are cut in half and don't have legs? You just drag yourself around with your arms anyway, but you're dragging legs behind you.
Like Joe does in Family Guy when he gets out of his chair.
Just like Joe does, but as a zombie.
Zombie Joe.
Zombie Joe.
If it hadn't been for Zombie, Joe. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I just watched everyone turn it off.
Yeah, our listens went from fucking the 50 that we got to 0. That's good shit.
I think that's a pretty fair question. I mean, if it's like the Resident Evil virus that turns people into zombies, where they end up like superpowered, or like DayZ, was it DayZ? World War Z, like where they climb up the wall.
I've never liked the powerful zombie. Like, I like the Walking Dead zombie that. Oh, what the fuck? Hang on, sorry. My brother calling me back in when the phone was plugged into the whole shit. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get rid of that, or just leave it. Fuck it.
So you were saying you don't like the
I don't like powerful zombies. I like the zombies that you get from fucking like The Walking Dead that are not powerful. They just kind of, if they sneak up on you, you're fucked. But if you're paying attention to what's going on and there's not a ton of them,
you can get away. Oh, you don't like 28 Days Later and the Fast Zombies and stuff like that?
I don't think I saw 28 Days Later.
Okay.
I might not have.
Have you seen like Zombieland?
Is that the one with Woody Harrelson?
Yes. And Jesse Eisenberg. And
I've seen it, but not enough. Like, I don't remember it well enough to comment on it, I guess.
I just watched the second one, Double Tap.
Yeah.
So it's 10 years later.
Yep.
And they say there's 3 types of zombies, and they name them. But the one you're talking about is called a Homer. And they show an example of the Homer, and he's kind of just like not paying attention to anything, and he tries to bite a statue, and he's chasing a butterfly, and then they talk about the ninja that is able to do complex thought processes. Like, they show it chase. No, the ninja's the one that'll surprise you and kill you.
Okay,
like like a ninja. But then I can't remember what they called it, but it's this one that's smart. I think they called it a Hawking. Like Stephen Hawking.
Okay, all right.
And it's chasing a scientist, and the scientist goes through a door that you have to use your eyeball to open the door, and it gets on the other side of the secure door, and it closes, and they're looking out at the zombie. And the zombie looks at them and then looks down at the dead scientist and rips the eye out of the scientist and holds it up to the eye scanner, and then goes in and gets them. But then they touch on how, like, the concept of evolution, they're getting better, they're getting smarter, stuff like this.
Okay.
And they're tougher zombies to where it takes multiple shots, and they're much faster, and it just the whole concept that in their universe, the zombies evolved through natural selection somehow.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, that would imply they're reproducing, but
I want to check that one out. I know Jen's seen the first one and really enjoyed it, and I think we meant to go see it and just didn't get that far.
It's campy. I mean, the sequel was campy too.
I think his chair's going to fall apart.
I was going to say, you're going to rip the arm off of it like the recliner.
That's what I get for a $7 Goodwill chair.
Mine was free on the side of the road.
What? Your chair?
Wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
It was $6 at Goodwill.
I thought it was in the dumpster.
No. I paid for that.
Oh. You'll pay for it again.
Yeah. You're going to pay for it. I've set it up so that it's not going to last forever.
You guys are doing like all vegetarian diet and stuff, right?
I'm working. Jen has been vegetarian for years.
Right.
I'm working my way towards it. I didn't want to like just waste all of the meat and stuff that I had because I'm not. It's not like a medical reason or anything like that that I'm stopping. So I don't see the sense in wasting. I'm mostly out of it now, so we're working my way towards it. But yeah, so I'm, for the most part, I would say probably 70% ish right now. So
Ashley bought some kind of cheese.
Yep.
And I don't know what it was, like $12 for a block.
God damn.
Yeah, and it was, I don't even know how to describe it. It's probably like the size of a 2x4. And probably 4 or 5 inches long. And it was $12.
Never mind.
And I couldn't believe it. And it's like the worst cheese.
Is it?
It's something that's super common for vegetarians or vegans or whatever it is to eat. And it's like super squeaky, and it's like eating a handful of salt.
Huh.
I told her I'd have thrown it out if it wasn't $12.
There are still some terrible cheeses from the vegan cheese makers, but there are some really good ones that, while they don't taste exactly like cheese, they're acceptable. Like if you're using it to, as like cheese on a like one of the Beyond Burgers or whatever, like it's doing its job. You're not going to notice that it's
got it.
Not real cheese.
You're already going to be disappointed with a Beyond Burger, so the cheese is going to make it worse.
Have you had one?
Yes.
They're not bad. I was surprised.
Are those the cheaper ones or the more expensive ones?
They're the more expensive ones, I believe.
Okay, that's like $5 for 2 patties or something.
It's like, I think they come in, it's $5 to $7 or something like that for 2 patties.
And they come in all of the individual packaging and all the plastic and
well,
we've had those.
Can't win them all.
The blood is made with beet juice.
Yeah, I think so. But they're decent. Like I'm not mad at them.
No, they're not a beef burger, but it gives you the same and that's happiness of holding it.
So because Jen's been vegetarian longer, one of the things that it's not chicken per se that she says she misses, it's the preparation. So she misses the chicken sandwich, not necessarily the chicken. She wants the bun and the lettuce and the crunch of the patty. So like the Morningstar Farms veggie patties, pay us Morningstar Farms. They're delicious. Like they're not a chicken, like I know they're not chicken, but they're really good. Like they come in like a buffalo, and they make these little like spicy buffalo nuggies that are they're fucking delicious.
Huh.
So
I know that's like the Whole30 diet concept. Is, you have to eat whole foods, you have to cut out certain things, but you're not even supposed to give yourself the physical pleasure of, like, you're not supposed to eat ice cream, so you shouldn't eat an ice cream supplement that is made from the ingredients you're allowed to eat, or a hamburger or whatever it is. So there's definitely a psychological portion to the gratification, not just from taste.
And that's one of the things that the classes that I had to take before my surgery, that's one of the things that they go over, and they're very specific about is, there are chips out there that are going to be better for you or that you can consume post surgery, but that food memory is attached, and it's a matter of time. If you don't have the self-control, it's a matter of time before you're back to eating a bag of Doritos sitting in your car.
I think that's the same thing with smoking for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Too. I know my dad, who appears to have quit, like he wasn't smoking the whole time I was there today, which is great. Yeah. I think he did Chantix or something.
Okay. Oh God, man, listen. Vivid fucking dreams.
That's what he said. And he said stuff that really challenged him because he would have dreams that were completely conflicting with what his personality is. Like I think he said he had dreams about murdering puppies and stuff like that. And how uncomfortable it was because he'd never do that.
Yeah, but they were very vivid. I don't remember what any of them are now because it's been years since I had it.
Is that what you used?
No, I just I didn't have a choice. They weren't. The morning of surgery, they test you for nicotine, and if you fail, they don't do the surgery. No. So and it takes 2 weeks for all the nicotine to get out of your system. So I had to like completely, because I was vaping. I'd been vaping for about a year.
Right, I remember that.
But I had to even stop vaping, and I just, when I had to do the 2 weeks for the pre-surgery, it just didn't go back.
Good for
I
you.
fucking love the smell of a lit cigarette, man. I'd fucking
shit's so gross.
Well, but you never.
But
smoked.
I'm not. No.
Yeah. Well, and I heard from people before I quit smoking that had quit smoking, and they're like, it's a love-hate thing. You either absolutely love the smell of it, or you absolutely cannot stand the smell of it. And I'm actually kind of a mixed bag because I love the smell of a lit cigarette. The smell of an ashtray fucking absolutely makes my stomach turn.
Yeah, that's.
And
gross.
I can smell ashtrays from, like at my old job, they had the smoking section was 50 feet from the door, and I could smell the ashtray from the door. So it's, but I tell Jen all the time, I miss smoking. Like I miss the giving me something to do, I guess. Like, cause it filled time for me. Like it was, oh man, bored? Hey, go smoke a cigarette. Oh, yeah, kill some time. Like I so I've had to find other things to do. It wasn't just like, it was such a big part of my life, and I didn't realize how big of a part of my life it was. Be it negative or positive, it was,
Right. You were a pack a day, or were you that bad?
I was at least a pack a day, depending upon what was going on or what I was doing. I was like, when I was commuting to Orlando for work,
right?
Hour in the truck in the morning, hour and a half. I was probably a little over a pack a day, probably a pack and a half. So,
did you find you smoked more when you drove?
Oh, absolutely. I chain smoked when I drove. So
I know Dad was at almost 2 packs a day when he was working for the lumber and trim company, and he was doing all the subdivision coordinating stuff. And it was just one after another and he's like, well, once you get out of the truck, you have to smoke a cigarette. Once you get in the truck, you have to smoke a cigarette. And it was very much so a habit for him. But he has the same feelings for you did. He loves it. That quote unquote, it's the best thing in my life.
Well, I never said that.
Well, no, I mean he, or his favorite thing in life or whatever it is.
It was that for me. It was my favorite thing to do. When there wasn't anything else going on, like I just, smoking was always there for me, I guess. It's a weird way to put it, but it was like, upset, go smoke. Bored, go smoke. Like everything that wasn't something else I enjoyed, it was smoking. It was, for whatever reason, like if I'm mad, smoke. Sad, smoke. Sick, keep smoking, dumbass.
Yeah, I
switch to menthol. Make sure it doesn't make your throat hurt quite as bad.
Sure it doesn't. It makes your breath smell.
Luckily, I didn't have to switch.
Right.
So, because menthol's what I smoked anyway.
Something I never got into. It just, I grew up with mom and dad smoking, and it stunk like it, and used to get accused of it in high school.
Oh yeah.
And just not for me.
See, and my mom quit. I had when I was a kid, they diagnosed me with like a light case of asthma, like nothing crazy. Like I didn't need an inhaler full time or anything like that, but I had trouble breathing.
Right.
And no, my mom quit smoking as soon as they, as soon as they told her that I had even the remotely smallest sign of asthma. My mom quit smoking immediately.
Wow.
My grandparents continued for a little bit, but eventually they quit as well. My grandmother smoked the longest, but like that was my source of cigarettes when I was in high school.
And stealing them from
absolutely.
Grandma, and mom.
And even when I was first experimenting with smoking, like I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and I was probably middle school most likely because I was still living with my mom, and I still live with my grandparents. So I was definitely middle school, maybe early high school. I would get up in the middle of the night after everybody went to bed, and I would smoke butts out of the ashtray because my grandmother only smoked like half the cigarette, and she bought hundreds for whatever dumbass reason.
Or the Pall Mall 120s.
Well, she smoked basic 100s. Okay. But she'd only smoke like half of them, so there'd be fucking half cigarette in the ashtray. So I would just smoke the rest of the cigarette, and then I'd throw the butt in the trash can because if there's a butt fully smoked in the trash, well, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, but if it's in the trash can,
well, then I throw a paper towel in on top of it or whatever, and they never even see it. So
just think about the fact that by sharing a cigarette, it's like making out with your grandma.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. That's what I thought about. Somebody tried to bring that up to me at that point, and I was like, well, you got to do what you got to do, buddy. I'm addicted.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah.
My daughter would love you.
That's awesome. Oh, shit. Ow, fuck.
I went with Rafi this weekend. You've met Rafi, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of times.
Yeah.
He's getting into the video game competition stuff. I mean, he's already the best guy that I've seen play most fighting games anyway.
Well, you're biased, too.
Because I love him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, that and I suck at fighting games.
You have his info? Like for his YouTube and shit?
Yeah, so he goes...
all 12 of our listeners will know about him after we're done. Also, they probably already do because they're all his friends.
Right. Armenian Demon. And I think there's an underscore. We'll put the username.
It'll be in the show description.
But he's got a YouTubes and a Twitch and all that jazz. And he entered his first real fighting competition rather than just a bunch of buddies get together and kill each other. And I've watched him play on Twitch and stuff before. And he's great. Like, I watch him win 40 matches in a row or whatever it is before he gets beat. And so we go to this tournament, and we drive all the way up to Jacksonville, which is like a 2-hour drive for us. It's a good time hanging out, bullshit and stuff like that. Well, we get into the tournament, and I'm looking around, and I'm the oldest guy there.
Yeah.
And I'm 37.
All right.
37? Sounds right. And it's on a college campus. It's at the University of Jacksonville.
Okay.
And it's in the rec center. Well, they've got TV set up in multiple rooms, and they're playing Tekken, they're playing Samurai Showdown, they're playing Smash Brothers for whatever Nintendo system is current, Switch or Wii U or whatever.
Switch.
And they're just playing several games, all fighting games. Smash Brothers was so popular, it had its own whole section, and the room was 10 degrees warmer than the rest of the building because they couldn't cool it off. And I looked at Rafi, and I'm looking around, and I mean this with all the love and respect in the world, we're in a building full of nerds. And that's okay. Yeah. Because that's him and I then. I mean, we're standing there, but it was also him and I at that age.
You're there with your brethren.
Right. But that's the remark I made to Rafi was video games were so shunned, and there was not the social networking that there is now 20 years ago when we were that age, or a little less than that. Yeah. And this is something that would have been a great place to find friends and hang out where sharing the common interest is, whether, it's the cool thing to do or not. But I was just like, man, all these nerds, at least they have each other. Again, I'm using that term endearingly, not to pick on anyone.
You're not an asshole. But you are.
But it was interesting because it looked like the trend was long hair pulled up in a bun.
Long hair, don't care.
Right. So it was kind of interesting.
It's it's somewhat crossed over to, from what I've seen from like pictures of other gaming events, it's somewhat crossed over to like a hipstery trend too.
Well, there's also, because it's quote unquote esports, there's a huge difference between different gaming communities. And that's part of what Rafi and I were talking about, because I helped him do a video for it, and he wants to do a video series on his 2020 tour of going to different competitions. But certain communities, like there was a game that the first ever fighting tournament he went to a very large one. He went to CEO. Yeah. And was knocked out first round in the game he was playing. And the guy looked at him and said, "Hey man, you really just shouldn't even be playing this game," and walked off. And he played a decently ranked player or whatever it was. And
he got big dick.
But he instantly was turned off from it. He was not welcomed into the community, and kind of just, it hurt his feelings a little bit. He's a sensitive teddy bear guy. Yeah. And he ended up just kind of wandering around and playing some casual matches with some of the other players on other games. And he said from playing the other games, he saw this game's community was a bunch of assholes. This game's community was this. And he said when he played Tekken, he's like, I ended up sitting down with some of the top players in the world without even realizing it. And they started explaining to me, this is this and this is this. And like actually teaching him, having never met him before, the game. And he said that's when he instantly knew Tekken was his thing. And he's been playing it for like 6 years now, and he's starting in tournaments and stuff. And cool. I think it's really cool to be able to, we had car audio. Yeah. Most of the car audio people are assholes. Nobody wants to help each other. People want to get into fist fights over stupid crap. So it's nice to find anything that you can be part of that you're passionate about, that people welcome you and you can grow in it. So I think that bundle of nerds that was there to play, I think that's a very positive thing, because it's, when you're in that group, you've been picked on growing up anyway.
I'm sure.
So having friends that have a likeness.
What's weird is we've transcended from the nerds being the ones picked on to the quote unquote nerds being typically the ones in the higher paying jobs that probably didn't even go to college, know, and they're, all the stuff that you're using, they've helped develop in one way or another. Yeah, all
the tech jobs.
Yep, absolutely. So I think that's cool. I think I followed the YouTube for Rafi. Okay. And we're friends on the Facebook. I think my favorite thing about Rafi is, like, I've only met him a handful of times, but every time he's just the nicest guy in the world.
And that's just who he is.
Yeah. So I definitely want to, all 12 of our listeners will be, if they're not already, they're going to be followers.
Well, and my intention is to, as things progress, I'd like to have him on an episode and talk to him. And
we'll figure that out.
He's got kind of a cool background. He worked in video games to start with, and then got into emergency medical stuff, and then became a paramedic, and then became a flight medic. And
we'll have to set up an interview. Maybe we'll do a Mike and Travis go-to and take our show on the road. Yeah. All right. Well, we've reached our time limit, folks.
Oh no.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, we don't really have one, but
we need to put in another quarter.
Yeah, we're going. Well, I don't know. I didn't bring any change. So, and this thing doesn't take pennies. Yeah, that's my point exactly. So, well, all right, buddy. Let's get the hell out of here. We enjoyed it.
I want to hear what your soundboard is.
Oh, so I definitely got the drum roll.
I was wondering if it was going to stop.
Yeah, I now that I've heard it and playing, like I need to get a shorter one. I got in case one of us said, obviously I didn't use that at all because we're not funny, so I don't even know why I got it. And then my personal favorite.
I got a crap on deck that could choke a donkey.
I really wish I would have had this last week when we were talking about me shitting in the studio before we started.
Right.
So, and then my this clip, I can't. I'm only going to play part of the clip because I don't want to get us in a lot of trouble. And I'm sure at some point they'll have a crawler that auto crawls the audio and sends us a copyright violation.
Did you put a Metallica song in?
No, God no. But this movie, so it's from Full Metal Jacket, and having watched Full Metal Jacket, especially in my adult life, it's a fucked up movie. Like,
it is.
It's not pleasant in its overall, in how the movie plays out and what they're showing you. But long before I saw the movie, I heard the audio from the opening scene. I hadn't seen the movie, didn't know anything about it, so all I heard was the audio, like on somebody had burned it to a CD for me of funny shit.
Of Are We Ermy?
Yeah, that whole opening scene, and I thought it was the funniest shit in the world. Like, especially when he's like making what's his face choke himself.
Joker.
He's like, lean forward and choke yourself. I'm like, man, this is fucking hysterical. And then I saw what he was.
Gomer Pyle.
It was Pyle, yeah. But I saw what he was doing, like, and I'm like, man, this is fucked up. Like, this is bullshit. Yeah. So I got
Do you
this.
suck dick?
Sir, no, sir.
Bullshit, I'll bet you can suck a
golf ball
through a garden hose.
Yeah.
I'll let you fuck my sister.
So I'll find some other stuff.
He's no longer with us, by the way.
Yeah, no. Wait, Arlie Ermy?
I think he gone.
I'm gonna have to Google that one.
Man, go ahead and get the Googles going.
I think now that you mention it,
He also had that great show, Mail Call.
That's right.
I think he was in Saving Silverman as well, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he died in 2018. Oh, that's sad. I didn't know that. So yeah. But I remember watching some documentaries about him, and he wasn't even cast for the role. He was brought in as a consultant. Yeah. So
in case anybody who's listening to the show doesn't already know the mythos of Arlie.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't know. So, all right, buddy. Well, let's get the hell out of here. We'll catch you guys next week. We appreciate you listening. Make sure you're checking us out on all the social medias at Nothing in Mod Pod. Liking, subscribing, telling all your friends. We're going to start interacting a little more on social media, so you'll probably see a few more posts a week from us than normal, especially now that I figured out how to schedule them, and I only got to worry about it one day a week, and I can just put them out on their own. Right, and with your iRig item, being able to make and take phone calls is kind of exciting. We have a phone call. Yeah, we will be releasing. I'm gonna try to work it in. I might work it in on the back end of this episode or something. Phone call with one of our buddies. It was pretty funny while we were testing everything out. So we'll probably be bringing some guests and stuff too. Because we can do the phone call thing now, and we got the stuff to record mobile too. So we'll probably be taking the shit show on the road while we're at it. So yeah, by the time anyone hears this episode, I'll have already started on another side project. Yeah. Do the Travis D installment. I want to get started on mine too, but I can't. I don't have time. So quit smoking. Yeah, God, I wish. God, if I were smoking, we would be recording outside tonight because I'd just be sitting out there chain smoking while we recorded. It's so nice out. It is super nice out. So, all right, thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next week. Love you. Bye. See ya. Stop it. It's super viscous. Jesus Christ.